At this point, it's definitely safe to say that comic book fans are getting more than their fair share of chances to see their favorite heroes and villains jump from the pages to the big screen. While the world has been getting to see Superman and Batman on screen seemingly forever, fans are now getting the chance to see other characters like Doctor Strange, Cyborg, Star-Lord, and many more come to life right in front of their eyes. Perhaps even more than their awesome action, these superhero movies are known for being jam-packed with fun Easter eggs and references hidden for die-hard fans to find. Before we start talking about some of our favorites, we should mention that this list does contain some mild spoilers for 2016's Doctor Strange. So don't say we didn't warn you. Here's our list of 10 awesome Easter eggs hidden in famous superhero movies. Deadpool. Deadpool was the surprise hit of 2016 and is the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. It's full of crude humor, gory violence, and as always, Stan Lee delivers an awesome cameo. His appearance in Deadpool is unlike any other before. This time around, Lee can be seen DJing at a strip club that Wade and Weasel head to in order to track down Vanessa. Out of all of the awesome cameos that Lee's delivered over the years, this is probably our favorite as we get to see comic book royalty introduce a stripper named Chastity. We can only hope that he returns with something just as awesome for the sequel. Spider-Man 2. Doctor Strange has now made his way into theaters as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he was actually mentioned way before Disney got the rights to the character. In Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, the Daily Bugle staff is trying to coin a name for the new villain, Dr. Octopus, and someone suggests Doctor Strange. J. Jonah Jameson says it's catchy, but it's unfortunately taken and can't be used. It's an obvious reference to the Sorcerer Supreme and suggests that Stephen Strange could have been around in Raimi's universe. Fast forward a few years later, and Doctor Strange as well as Spider-Man have landed in the MCU, and J. Jonah Jameson, well actually just J.K. Simmons, has made his way into the DCEU. Suicide Squad. Harley Quinn's scandalous costume wasn't the only thing that left fans of the character's source material scratching their heads in 2016's Suicide Squad. It was also her choice of weapon. In the movie, it's a baseball bat that Harley Quinn carries around most of the time, instead of some of her more famously odd weapons. The filmmakers did, however, leave a reference to one of her most prized possessions, her hammer. The giant wooden mallet Harley pulls from her belongings when voicing her feeling that a lot of people are about to die looks to be just as well used as the version from her animated appearance or comic books. It's just a brief moment, but any longtime fan of Harley Quinn would have surely picked up on it. The Dark Knight. With the Joker terrorizing Gotham, Batman needs a new suit to increase his mobility, and Lucius Fox is happy to help. When Fox shows Bruce Wayne the new armor, he lets him know that it'll leave him more vulnerable to knives and gunfire. Bruce is most concerned about how it'll hold up against dogs after encountering some early in the film, to which Fox replies it should do fine against cats. The joke is a sly nod towards famed Batman character Selina Kyle, or Catwoman, who would be played by Anne Hathaway in the sequel, The Dark Knight Rises. We like to think that Nolan was thinking ahead on this one and not just calling back to Halle Berry's Catwoman. Captain America: Civil War. After one of the greatest action scenes of all time, Captain America: Civil War ends on a somber note, and Bucky's fate isn't as glorious a return to action as Cap's. Instead, he makes the choice to go back into deep freeze at the cutting-edge facilities of Wakanda, the home country of Black Panther himself. In the comics, it's Wakanda that produces the most advanced and sophisticated of future technologies, but the new medicine and sciences haven't replaced the country's traditions. New structures stand shoulder to shoulder with ancient panther carvings, and in one of the movie's post-credit sequences, fans can catch a glimpse of one massive panther statue breaking through the mist. It was a subtle but much appreciated Easter egg that surely left many fans excited for the Black Panther solo movie in the works. Iron Man 2. At the end of his second solo movie, Tony Stark learns from Nick Fury he's not fit for the Avengers Initiative, but it's what's going on in the background that's more interesting. There's a map with certain spots highlighted, including one in Africa. It seems clear now that this map was showing Wakanda, the home of Black Panther. Now that the world has gotten a chance to see T'Challa on the big screen in 2016's Captain America: Civil War, it seems clear that Marvel was planning years in advance with this sneaky Easter egg. Interestingly enough, there also happens to be a dot in the Atlantic Ocean, which could be for Namor, but Marvel hasn't released any info on him yet. The Incredible Hulk. In general, the world was not a very big fan of Louis Leterrier's 2008 film, The Incredible Hulk, but you have to at least give the film credit for paying a respectful tribute to actors who played previous incarnations of the character. Paul Soles, the first person to ever play the character in a 1966 animated series, has a cameo as a pizza store employee, while Bill Bixby, who played Dr. David Banner in the CBS live-action show of the same name, appears on screen despite having passed away in 1993, with a glimpse of his TV show, The Court courtship of Eddie's father. More notably, Bixby's on-screen alter ego, Lou Ferrigno, the CBS Hulk, plays a security guard in the movie. It should also be noted that Ferrigno has gone on to actually voice the CGI version of the Hulk, both in this film and all of the MCU outings that followed. Iron Man. Years before Iron Man was an international movie star and the face of the MCU, he had his own cartoon show. Director Jon Favreau decided to tip his hat to the cartoon show with a fun Easter egg hidden in the movie. While Rhodey has pilots tracking down Stark in the Iron Man suit, he gets a phone call from Tony. What you might not have known is that Rhodey's ringtone is an edited version of the 1966 cartoon's theme song. A fun little nod for fans that remember the series. It may not be the most obvious reference, but for those who watch the show or are longtime fans of the character, it was a much appreciated shout out. Captain America, the first Avenger. As an all-American Brooklyn kid living through World War II, Steve Rogers hates Nazis more than Brad Pitt's character in Inglourious Bastards. But this is no new theme for Marvel, who have been selling that hyper-patriotic idea from the very beginning, having Cap punch Adolf Hitler in the face on the cover of the comic's very first issue. Years later, when the Star-Spangled Man was brought to the big screen, the famous image was recreated during the propaganda montage as Steve tours the country in his costume. The reference was easy enough to spot, but only true fans of the comics knew the origins of the Easter egg. Doctor Strange. Now that Doctor Strange is out, we know that it is firmly a standalone movie in the MCU. That being said, it does of course have links to the rest of the shared universe, and one of the most important Easter eggs comes right at the start of the movie. As the camera pans over Strange's New York, the iconic image of the Avengers Tower can be seen towering over the rest of the city. This is one of only a couple of Avengers nods. You won't find any mention of the Accords or of the incident, because in this movie, they haven't actually happened yet. The start of the film happens around the same time as Iron Man 2, but with all the time travel in this film, it's understandably hard to keep up. So there you have it. There's our list of 10 amazing Easter eggs hidden in some of your favorite superhero movies. Were you able to catch these references when you first watched the movies? Are there any other awesome hidden secrets that we skipped? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more fun videos, like this one.